Thomas. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Just stand there.
Well, this looks like being the last kick of the game.
Goldstein wins the game for North and their finals bound. They're going to September, the Kangaroos.
North Melbourne lobs a grenade into the AFL's top 8 and blows up preconceptions about who can win the premiership.
What a contest. What a contest. And this has been a stunning late season revival by the Roos.
Now, one man who's coming back into that side is Jack Ziebell. Jack, welcome to AFL 360.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Was that a hard game to watch?
Absolutely. I'm a horrible watcher of football, especially when you're fully fit and you think you should be out there. But yeah, I had some pretty nervous moments in the box we were sitting in.
Did you believe when they got blown out early?
Yeah, I think looking at the game, obviously had full confidence in the boys, and just watching, there was no cause of panic. No alarms would have been set off, and we just sort of grinded momentum back through contested footy and getting the game back on our terms. And in the last quarter, we ran over the top of them, which has been really good over the last month for us.
It's better football than just having a blowout 10-goal quarter, because you can't rely on that happening every week. That was the best sustained 3.5 quarters or 3 quarters I've seen North Melbourne play this year.
Absolutely. I think even in the first quarter, we didn't play that well, but we got it to a point where, I think they kicked 7 goals straight or 6 goals straight. Yep. So we got it to a point where we were still in the game. I think it was 24 points at quarter time, and the boys really grinded the momentum back in our favour, and that's something we haven't done too well over the last probably 12 months. There's been a few times where teams have got on top and really put their foot down, so it was good that the boys could sort of halt that momentum and try and change it for the better for us and come away with a win, which was great.
Do you hate it when everyone externally says, I wish Jack Ziebell would stop punching or bumping people? He's got to change his game. Do you hate it when people say that, because it's very difficult to change your attitude and the way you go about your footy?
It's definitely difficult to change the way you go about your football, but for people to have their opinions, that's definitely what they're known for, and everyone's allowed to have their own opinions. So they can say what they like, and it's probably not going to have too much effect on me. And I'll play footy the way I play footy, and probably not much will change.
Did you agree you should have got a week for that?
Yeah, I think so. I was a little bit clumsy and probably a little bit late. It was obviously high, so the MLP's there for a reason, and whether you agree with it or not, that's the way it is, and you just got to move on.
You may think it's funny, Jared. Is it possible that why you were late to the contest is that the wind dragged the ball down a hell of a lot quicker than what usually happens? Because it was a windy day.
It was, and on TV you probably couldn't really see that, but the ball did drop
so
short.
You're slow and the ball's dropping.
Yeah, it's two combining factors.
Yeah, in trouble?
Yeah, I was in a bit of trouble, so I was a little bit late and the ball sort of dropped.
So you thought you were okay? Because that is late. I mean, let's be honest. You don't see that a lot in footy. Jordan Lewis, actually. I hope you're watching Jordan. Jordan was a bit late. But they were not similar, but the contact from when the ball arrived, it was abnormal.
It was just a little bit late, I think. Yeah, I don't think there was much in the force. He got up straight away and took his kick, and the game went on. No, I didn't, because it was a bit hard when there was about 7 people on me, so yeah, I didn't.
Do the North Melbourne players have a very acute sense of what's at stake here in the week gone, the next 2 weeks coming to set up for September?
Absolutely. And probably the last month as well. Looking at the ladder, if you look at the ladder now, it's one game between 4 essentially and 9th or 10th. And go back a month, it was even closer. It was 11 teams pushing for 8 spots. So it was super tight, and the boys have really got a good understanding of that. And I think we're a mature group now that we can sort of have that feeling of and understanding of where we sit and what this game on the weekend actually means to us, because it's big, and the next 2 games essentially are 8-point games for us. Dreaming's not the sole sort of thing for kids like the Western Bulldogs. They haven't had those kids haven't had the disappointment yet, like you guys have had, of getting into the finals, getting beaten, and having your heart ripped out, thinking we could have won it this year. Can you still dream really strongly? I mean, I'm not going to ask you, can you win the flag? Because that's a very difficult thing to do. But are you dreaming strongly that you can give it a really good shake? Oh, I mean, everyone believes that they can, and I certainly do for us at North Melbourne. You wouldn't be an AFL footballer if you didn't go to bed at night and somewhat think about what could potentially be this year. And but at the same time, for what's worked for us over the last 6 or 7 weeks is that we literally don't look any further than this week. And I know journalists hate that, 1 week at a time sorts of thing.
Everyone hates it. Don't worry about us.
It is just what we are looking at, because if you start to look
especially this competition, how tight it is. If you look 2 weeks ahead, you're going to lose sight of what's in front of you. And if you do that, whether it be, I don't know, the Gold Coast we played up there, they can beat you by 10 goals. And we were not on the job that night, and we got proved that we weren't good enough.
But what are you doing right now, Jack? What do you think this team's doing right now better than the corresponding time last year where you got to a prelim? But what do you think you're doing better this year?
Kicking big goals from outside 50.
That was good. Did you get anything for that? Do you like goal of the week from the club or anything like that?
I'm not sure, actually. But no, I think the question you had before of what are we doing better, I think our defence this year hasn't been quite as good in the first half compared to the second half of the year.
Yeah.
And I think the stats would back that up. But the second half of the year, we've really tightened that up after the Gold Coast game. And it's been really positive for us.
How? How did you tighten it up?
We just understood that I think our time in forward half stats weren't great. So we tried to really defend our ball in the first half of the year in our back half, which is not sustainable.
Yep.
So we had to try and get up and try and defend the ball.
So you're doing a lot of press. You've changed and gone a lot of pressing up the ground and keeping it inside.
A little bit. I mean, it's probably not so much pressing, but it's just having the awareness of not having a sort of folding back mindset. It's more of let's not wait and let's sort of get on the front foot here and try and get the ball back rather than try and stop it when they're kicking the ball over our head.
The Bulldogs are such a great challenge. It's your home game, but in a way, Etihad has become their turf over the last 10 or 12 weeks.
Absolutely. They've been flying the last, obviously this year, since their new coaches come on board, and I thought they played really well for three quarters last week against West Coast, obviously second best team in the comp on the ladder. So we've really got to be on our toes this week to try and combat them. Yeah.
They've got good mids.
They've got some very good mids. Some young guys are really coming through, and like Mitch Wallace is having a fantastic year, and Bontempelli obviously.
Dallas is having a super year. You might have to go on Jason Johannesson. Can you keep up?
Might have to choose someone else for that one. I don't know if I've got enough pace for him. But.
Have you been watching a lot of them or not?
A little bit. I've just sort of seen them here and there. We'll go to work this week with our opposition analysis, but obviously their rebound from half-back is something that we really need to look at this week because they've really sliced and diced some teams this year, and hopefully that won't be us on the weekend.
Well, it's Saturday twilight. It's live and exclusive on Fox. It's the match of the round. We can't wait.
It is the match of the round.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Jack.
Jack Ziebell with us on AFL 360.